Hey everyone, here at Serpent Mound, one of the most ancient sites here in Ohio. And it's a really fantastic, energetic sites, astronomically aligned. And, it's just been a really kind of special day. You see I'm wearing the rain jacket here. And before we showed up, is pouring rain all day long. We figured we were probably going to have to kind of run through the site. But Kate had put out there, well, let's see, what kind of power we have. Let's, actually put it out there to the universe that, for the rain to subside by the time we get there. And it was really pretty amazing because it was still raining a little bit when we first got here, but within the first few minutes of our walk into the site, the rain just stopped. So it's really amazing that, and because of that rain stopping, we've had the site really almost to ourselves. There's been a couple other people here, but not so much. And so we sat off on the side over here in the path. You're not allowed to, stand on the mounds or sit on the mounds or whatever. They want you to be able to, respect the site. So don't, although somebody mows the lawn, obviously, so apparently they are allowed to walk on it. But so we sat down over here, did a little meditation session, got the, our feet on the ground and all that sort of thing. And it was really fascinating. So we saw, a little bit of different things, but, saw each other. I saw like snake immediately when I first closed my eyes and all that, which was fantastic. But then when we came out of that meditative state, it was really interesting because Kate heard, to her it was like this, sort of high-pitched sort of noise, where to me it was like a rattle. We heard it from down the hill there, back on the other side of the mountain, to each side. It was like coming from all directions, there, then there, then there, then there. And then it stopped. And to me, the sound was like one of those ceremonial rattles. It was very strong, of course. Indigenous, Native American connections here. They had the placard at the front for the great prophet Tenskwatawa, which my family knows that story. Check out Campfire Tales Midwest for a story about Tenskwatawa. But yeah, to me, this was a blessing over us, having that ceremony through each side. So really interesting what we've been able to experience here today. And yeah, we can't get up on the observation tower to check out the whole thing at once, but we're still able to walk around it and have really had some amazing experiences here today. And just the fact that we were able to manifest some sunshine is incredible. So I was mentioning to Kate if these trees could talk. Well, that's on the property here, so we can't get up there to that tree, but there are two right here. So Kate and I came over to these trees here and put my hand on the tree, trying to connect, see if there's any messages that we can get. And what I got was really interesting. First, I saw a diamond shape, and then I kind of pulsed a little bit and saw a spiral in the middle. And then all of a sudden, it became that ship shape, like we see in the walls in ancient Egypt. And then following that was the eye, which we've seen that eye before when we've gone to other sites. But I find it fascinating because that ship wasn't just for representation across the waters, but it was representation for ships across the sky through space, the quote-unquote spaceships that we see like on the ceiling at the Temple of Dendara and places like that. So it's absolutely fascinating.
Space what? We call it space what? Spaceship. Oh. Why we don't call it space rocket? Because the ancient Egyptian represented ships sailing on the sky. All of these ships are sailing.
Back here once again at the Great Circle Earthworks. Always an incredible time coming here. There's so much energy here, and really you're talking a circular structure that is bigger by more than 100 feet than the circle of stones at Avebury, which is incredible because Avebury is like one of the biggest megalithic sites in the world, right? And here we are at this an immensely huge circle. So this is the first time I brought Kate here. She is checking it out, of course. And she was immediately drawn to this spot. This is a part of Eagle Mound. And what was fascinating about that is I hadn't told her about my last adventure here, which being on Eagle Mound here, you have this huge tree that's in the way, right? Well, last time I was here, I launched a drone off of here, and it was fully charged, and in less than 2 minutes, the battery was drained, it was gone, and so it came right back down. I told Kate that part of it, but I didn't tell her where on Eagle Mound that happened. She came right here to this spot. This is the most energetic spot, and I'm like, that's where I had my battery drain. And so this time, though, had success with the drone. The thing is, it was different about this time. Before we came out here to Eagle Mound, we did a counterclockwise walk, starting from where you enter there, and we did a counterclockwise walk all the way around the circle, which honors the energies here. So I believe that because of that honoring of the energies here, I was able to successfully use the drone this time and get some interesting footage. Number of things that we were kind of tuning into here. So, they believe, the traditionalists believe that this is some sort of bird effigy, which is kind of weird because, maybe a little bit in the shape of a bird, but, you have these distinct 4 points, and really kind of like an arrow. It's all pointed right back here to the most energetic spot. So you have that energy that's coming in from the opening there in the circle, that eastern rising sun into here. I believe hitting these 3 spots and focusing your energy back to here. And when we did a meditation right there earlier, it's essentially what I was seeing. There's also a sense of sadness here because of the desecration that was done over the years. It's done a lot to restore the area now, but it's all cut off from the rest of the structure. You have the city that developed around it. The octagon over there was just added to the site this past year, but so much of it has been lost to the growth of the city when they did not preserve it. So the structure is broken, the structure is damaged, but right here, there's still energy on the mound that they call Eagle Mound, but I don't think it's an eagle. One final note about the Great Circle Earthworks that I made during my recent Mike's Morning Mugs video on the Connected Universe portal and on my Patreon. When I went to Gravestone Circle in Ireland a few years ago, although it was much, much smaller in scope, it was essentially built the same, but it just had stones included in it as well, which is absolutely fascinating. How is there just this similar building technique between the two cultures that were not supposed to have had these connections, but they obviously did. Another aspect of this that's kind of interesting to me is that this is an earthwork. This is an actual hinge, which a hinge is supposed to be earth. You can have a wood hinge, stone hinge, right? And basically it's built up circular structure. So we're standing on, Great Circle Earthworks in Newark, Ohio is built up like this in a giant circle just without the stones around it. So interesting connection back to what we call the Hopewell people in Ohio. It's just the Hopewell didn't put the stones in there. So it's kind of, you make those connections around the world from one civilization to another. And somehow, some way, they were in ancient times connected. How did, these lost people that we have no idea who they were in Ohio do essentially the same thing, just without the stones, as the Druids were out here in Ireland? And stuff like that is just absolutely fascinating to me. Somehow, some way, they were all connected.